Hey guys, welcome back again to another video on the channel, and the title of today's video is The Weirdest Filipino Commercials, which is the part 2 of my series in my storytime playlist. So I hope you enjoy, and the format is I will be showing the clip of the video and then explaining afterwards. Boysen Permacoat Home Sweet Home Commercial.
Namalay ka na ba ha? Nagsaing! Yung mga plato ba? Nahugasan mo na! Nakapaglaba ka na ba? Naku, yung basura ba? Nakalimutan mo ni dapat lalangawin tayo! At saka alas 3 ha, huwag mo kakalimutan, susundin mo si Junior ha! Siyempre, magmamadyong ako ha! Tandaan mo, dapat mo... At habang sumusundo ka, huwag mong kalimutan mag-withdraw dahil mag-grocery tayo pagdating ko. At huwag mo rin kalimutan diligan ng aking...
So what is Boysen? So Boysen is a very popular paint brand in the Philippines who sells a lot of colors for house painting. So let's cut to the commercial. So the commercial starts very normal actually. It's just a family man painting his walls, and then his wife comes in and nags at him and just keeps on nagging at him, and suddenly he paints over her face, and then until her whole body is covered in paint. However, her mouth is still unpainted, but eventually he does paint it to shush her. So from a site that I read that explains a lot of Boysen commercial, and I quote, "Nothing says home sweet home like having your loved ones around you, so we don't advise covering up relentless and nagging problems as a way to solve them. Band-aid solutions don't work in the long term." We can definitely attest to the excellent hiding capabilities of Boysen Permacoat. So my sources are linked down below, so if you want to check the whole article, then you can rightfully go. Now, based on the commercial, the message that they want to put out, or like what they're doing, is that they're like using an analogy of Boysen paint to covering up the nagging problems within a household, but they do quote there that it is not a solution to that. So I don't think that's the real message, but from what I can tell, that's the message. But besides that, it's like they're really marketing themselves as the #1 paint brand in the Philippines, and they just showing that they are the top paint brand, because as you can see, when the man paints his wife a white paint, you literally can't see her anymore, and it's very seamless. So I guess that's the message that they want to convey. Overall, I think it's a little bit tamer compared to other ones, but maybe some kids in the Philippines or wherever they watched, whatever country they're from, watch this video, maybe weirded out by this, because yeah, the husband literally covers up his wife, so that's kind of weird just in that essence. But it's just a marketing strat, honestly, and I think it's quite funny in my opinion. So let's move to the next one. RC Litro Balot Commercial.
Kain tayo, may dala kang merienda.
Uy! Saan galing?
Birthday ng anak ni Maring Nenet. Nag-uwi ako.
Balutin mo ako ng hiwaga ng iyong pagmamahal. Hayaang matakpan ang kinang na di magtatagal. Mabuti pa kaya'y maging bituing walang ningning, kung kapalit nito'y walang paglaho bang pagtingin. Balutin mo ako ng hiwaga ng iyong pagmamahal.
Mare, nakita mo ba si Junjun?
So what is RC Cola? So RC Cola is a very popular brand of cola in the Philippines that sells, well, cola. It can be very compared to that of Pepsi, which if you compare the designs, I feel like it's just the same, and they just changed the designs a bit to not have copyright. I don't know why they made this brand, but it's actually pretty good. I don't know in taste comparison if it's the same. I've forgotten. I just drank it. So yeah, let's move to the commercial now. The commercial starts off pretty normal. It's just a mom coming home to her family. She's asking her family to come and dine with her because she brought some food for her family. And then it starts off very normal, you know. She's just bringing out food that is wrapped in plastic, and then she brings out a whole ass cylinder, or what do you call it in the Philippines, lalagyan, full of food. Like, it's the dishes served actually in the birthday. And then she pulls out a freaking lechon, which is a popular a dish in the Philippines for celebrations. And then she pulls out her son, or like a random child. And then she pulls out a freaking clown. Yes, you heard me right. She pulls out a clown, and then a singer while she's singing Balutin Mo Ako by Sharon Cuneta playing in the background. And she just keeps on singing, and then they just dine together. And then she eventually pulls out the RC, which is the brand that made the commercial. And then she just pours it, and then they just drink, and then they'll just dine with the clown and with the singer. So that's kind of weird, you know? Just invite a clown and the singer to dine with you. I think that's quite weird. And then there you go. They just enjoy the meal, and the commercial ends. And then there's a random like neighbor that peeps out of the bag, which is actually super weird. Now, based on a site that I read, and I quote, the soda brand dropped their commercial on April 21, cheekily citing a ballot reveal. And yep, that isn't the only play they served up on current pop culture lingo. So, essentially, what Sharon means in Filipino is to wrap up food from a birthday or any celebration and take them home. That's exactly what Sharon means. And it makes sense that the song used for the commercial is Balutin Mo Ako by Sharon Cuneta, which is a popular singer in the Philippines. And I put a link down below on her wiki page, so you can just read that if you want more info. And yeah, I guess the only part that's weird about this commercial is the clown. I guess other than that, it's not really that weird, but just seeing the clown, I mean, come on, look at it. It's just so weird. And to dine with the family, it's just so weird. Let's move to the next one. Fita Commercial Sports Car.
Last Fita.
Dahil susilak ang inyong puso, isang kahilingan.
Sports car! Yung red!
Now, Fita is a popular cracker brand in the Philippines containing 9 pieces of crackers in a small packet. And it's color red, and it's very popular in the Philippines, made by Boysen company. So the commercial starts off pretty normal. It's just a man eating his Fita, and then the little girl steals his second to last Fita, until he's left with one more. And then suddenly, an old woman appears and asks for a Fita. But he only has one left, so he splits the Fita into 2. Until the old woman transforms into a younger woman that says that she can grant him any wish that he wants. And then he wishes for a lead Lambo, but he's only given half a Lambo because it's only half a Fita he gave. So based on this site article that I read, it says here that there are 3 versions of the Fita. The first one is the one that we watched previously, and that the second version is a continuation of the first version, where there's 2 men there in the commercial, but they don't get a red sports car in comparison to the commercial that we watched. Now, to me, this commercial is just funny and it just makes sense because he only gave half a Fita, so he's only granted half his wish. So this is just funny. Yeah, I don't know how to read this.
Ma?
Oo?
Ampun po ba ako?
Ha? Sino naman nagsabi sa'yo niyan?
Kasi ma, lagi na akong inaasar sa school eh. Ampun daw ako ma eh.
Anak, di ba sinabi ko sa'yo huwag ka magpapa-apekto sa sinasabi ng iba?
Pero ma, sabihin mo sa akin, ma, abot po ba ako? Ha? Ma! Abot ba ako? Ha? May paliwanag mo po ba? May paliwanag mo bakit may 4 na baso ko sa likod?
Matagal na namin itinago ito sa'yo, anak. Pero sa palagay ko pa na pinagmalaman mo.
Now, since you already know what RC Cola is, I don't really have to explain what it is again. So the commercial starts off pretty normal. It's just a kid asking his mom whether he's an orphan or not. And then the mom asks who told him that. And then he says that in school he's being bullied, that he's an orphan. And then the mom just replies and just comforts him to not be affected by the words that are said to him. But the son still doubts the mother and still asks if he's an orphan or not. And then he just slowly undresses and just removes his uniform to show his whole body and asks still an explanation on why he has 4 cups on his back. And then the mom just cries and just stares at the scene of the son, and then is just ready to tell the truth to the son. And then let's wait a bit. This is the weird part. I feel like this is the creepiest one out of all the commercials. She removes her freaking head to reveal an RC Cola underneath her head. What the hell, bro? I don't even know. Even I was scared. Up until this day, I'm just creeped out with this. And then she just pours it onto his back. I really have no words. This is like the weirdest commercial up to this day to me. And then it shows his family just sipping on his juice. So based on an article that I read, it says, hands down, this is the weirdest ad we've seen all year. Up until now, this is like one of the weirdest ads that I've seen. The spot for the Philippines from RC Cola tells the story of a son who confronts his mother after he suspects he's adopted, given the insinuations of his classmates. It starts out as a typically soapy drama, but midway it takes a completely unexpected turn, and wow, I really did not expect that turn to happen, like legitimately. I mean, you can definitely tell why this commercial is weird because of the cups on the sun. That's the first one, and that's even mild. The second weirdest thing is that the head cola, bro, like, it's just so weird when she unscrews when she removes her head. And then she proceeded to pour the cola on her son, which just made things weirder, honestly. I just don't want to watch this anymore. Even I still get disturbed to this day. Boysen Preso commercial.
Habang buhay, ako sa'yo'y maghihintay. Hindi kukupas pag-ibig na tunay. Umaraw man o umulan, di sasablay. Pintado sa aking puso, pag-ibig na tunay.
Boysen Acrotex, the paint that lasts a lifetime. Almost.
Now this commercial is set in a prison, and it's just a gloomy day, a rainy day, and then the prisoner looks down on painters, and then he gets an idea to like orchestrate a plan of escape through that, and then days pass by, and he just marks the days that goes by, and he's presumably more crazy, and he exercises to gain more muscles, meditates seemingly, and then the days just go by, and they just go by until he grows out facial hair and he gets gray hair. And then he exclaims that there's a ladder, and he tries to reach out for it. Unfortunately, he is not able to reach out for it. So, based on the article that I read, it says first on the list, which is based from the list that I got earlier for the first Boysen commercial that I aired. So, you can see that there are 2 RC Cola commercials and 2 Boysen commercials. So, that's kind of weird that they make these kinds of weird commercials for Filipino audiences. But first on this list is arguably the most iconic Boysen commercial to date. Preso tells the tale of an inmate serving his time in prison. The story begins with him as a young man looking through the barred window of his cell as workers paint the exterior walls of the prison with Boysen acrylics. No spoilers on what happens next, but we probably will already know where the story leads to anyway. For me, this is just a funny commercial, and it's not really that weird, but I just wanted to put this on the list because when I searched up weird commercials, it popped up. So yeah, his face is just funny when he realizes he can't escape. Let's move to the next one. Family planning commercial.
Isang taon pa lang ako, nasundan na ni Toto. Grade 2, 8 taon pa lang, 4 na bata ang inaalagaan. Grade 6, 12 na ako, kasing dami na ng pamilya ko. Sabi mo, pasensya na, walang pera kaya mag-drop out ka. Inakup, sabi mo kami mahal nyo, ari ko pati kayo nagplano. Sana hindi gutom at nag-aaral pa, alaga't malusog ang buong pamilya.
Ang planadong buhay ay maayos na buhay.
Department of Health. The Department of Health is a government institution which is responsible for the health of the Filipinos living within the country. They are the ones responsible for making this very informative ad, actually. So the ad starts off with a girl singing about her life situation, and then it shows her family, starting off with 2 siblings only, and then she's shown back again selling, and then she gains more siblings, and then she's shown in her house again, and then she gains more siblings again because of, guess what, improper family planning. And then she seemingly cries in the corner while she is singing, and then it just shows the chaos within the family and how many they are because of improper family planning. And it just cuts to her looking at a family that is planned properly, and almost as if she's envying that family. So based on this article that I found, it says, we can see a young Sapagita, Arabian Jasmine reseller, facing the viewer and is singing the opening of the song. Isang taon pa lang ako, I was only a year old. It cuts to the scene where the mother is carrying a toddler and an infant with both of her arms. Nasundan ni Toto when my brother was born. It then cuts to the scene where she was selling the wreaths in the busy street. Grade 2, 8 taon pa lang, grade 2 at the age of 8. Then another cut showing the said seller carrying a toddler in her arms, and in the background, her mother doing the laundry, her brother tending the hulingan. And it's just such a powerful commercial. Everything from the chaos of the family, the crying of the girl singing in the video, the little girl, and the envy that she shows in the commercial. It's just such a powerful commercial, and I wish they make more of these kinds of commercial to just show the reality of life and how hard it is to start a family without proper family planning, and just the kids will just suffer if they don't plan properly. In my opinion, this is a very good commercial and it's very powerful, but it's still kind of weird. But let's face it, it's just the reality of life, and it's just such a well-made commercial. So let's just move to the next one. It's also a good commercial. Lucky Me dinner commercial.
O, late ka na yata nakauwi kagabi.
Ilang beses ka ba dapat pagsabihan?
Ang hirap sa'yo, parang hindi importante ang mga sinasabi namin. Kaya binabaliwala mo! Paulit-ulit namin sinasabi sa'yo, hindi ka ba nakikinig?
Anak, ginabi ka pala sa project mo, ah. Kwento ka naman.
Lucky Me is a popular noodle brand in the Philippines that sells a variety of noodles. Commercial starts with the family eating dinner meal, and that the mom mentions that the son went home late, and then the father just scolds the son, and then his seat on the table just becomes longer, and he just keeps on becoming distant from the family because the father keeps on scolding him because, quote, that he just doesn't listen to his parents until his table is long enough that he gets removed from the house. And it just shows that more teens are becoming more distant to their families, not even coming together for dinner or any family meal. And then the father calms down and then gives the meal to his son, and then he calms down and they have a proper discussion, and he finally seemingly understands the situation of the kid. Now, from this article that I've read, it says that we see a family of 3 having dinner. A father angrily confronts his son for going home late at night. While the boy ignores the father's anger, the table extends further away from the parents until it ends up to the street. A text displays 3 out of 4 teens, ayaw kumaing madalas kasama ang pamilya, gawing masaya ang hapag-usapan. 3 out of 4 teens don't want to eat with their family often. Make dinner table, talk fun. Then we return to the screen, showing the mother comforting the father by holding his hand, and then the father offers the boy food while remarking about his busy project done late at night. Now, for me, this is just such a powerful commercial, you know. The message was just given out so perfectly, you know. And the symbolism with the chair being the distance of the child to his family, to his parents, is just so perfect. And then for me, for some viewers, it may be triggering to hear the dad lashing out, scolding his son, which is just such a perfect way to encapsulate the emotion of a family in real life. And it's just a perfectly made commercial, and I just really wanted to end this video on a good note, on a good commercial. It's not that weird, but the message is just given out so perfectly. So that's about it for the video, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the second part of the Storytime series, and I will be making these more often, so please tune in for that. And yeah, I just hope you showed this video a lot of support. So I will link the other videos that I've made here to the side. And I hope you have a good day and wait for my next upload, guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you've made it to the end, then please give me a like and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in this content. For now, goodbye.